Hey, it's Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. Today is May 16th. I don't know, it's Tuesday. Anyway, and I titled this Adventure in Biochar. And you know, we make biochar here, and I'm kind of going through how we make it and the way we use it, and really what it is. I apologize for the tractor running, but we had a dead battery this morning. We made a bunch last night, and worked out really nice. And here's a sample of it. What it is it's charcoal that's made in an oxygen-depleted environment. That's the best way I can explain it. And it has a lot of properties, and a lot of them I don't know. The ones that I do know is it's very, very porous and light. And if I get this completely soaked, it'll stay soaked for a long time. It won't just dry out even if it sits in the sun. It holds water. And again, I don't think I truly know why. I could probably study on this for days, and you could too. But what I'm doing today with it is I had a bunch that got dumped on the ground, and low battery, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut this short. I had a bunch that got dumped on the ground, and so I picked it up with a front end loader, and what I'm doing with it is I dump it in with the pigs. And you know, I use my pigs on my produce field. My produce field is divided up into thirds, so I got one section that's 100 by 100, and then another 100 by 100, and then a third. And the one that they're on right now is the poorest of the soil. It's still good, but it's the poorest of this field. So I want to bolster it. I have 30-something pigs out there right now, and I'm feeding them full feed. They're getting full bedding, and I want a lot of biochar in that soil. So what I do is I feed the biochar to the pigs, and I've shown you that. They just go right to it. But they're a little tired of it now because I've been walking it to them because we've been making a lot. Yeah, it's getting windy here. Let me get out of the wind. And so I got to encourage them to eat it. And as I say a lot of times, we have to take every advantage that we can in farming, and war too. Take every advantage. We exploit every angle. So I want them to eat this biochar. I want them to go after it. So what I'm going to do today, what I have done, is I have a bag of mineral salt, right? You can get it any place. The challenge is always, how do you get animals to eat that stuff? You know, you got to mix it in with their feed. Sometimes it's too salty, they don't like it. But what I did is I have a bucket of biochar here that I scooped up. It's got a lot of dirt in it. And then I came and I watered it, and I put about a coffee can, a small coffee can of mineral on it. Right, and then just, you know, let it soak in for a little while. So it'll be like potato chips without salt compared to potato chips with salt. And I'm going to take that over and I'm going to dump it to them. Now I could go out there to that field and I could spread biochar. I could run it through the feed mill and then spread it out and mix it with compost and all that stuff. I could do that. If you don't have livestock, that's what you would do with it. Maybe not, you wouldn't mill it, because most people don't have a feed mill, but you would crush it up and then you'd inoculate it with compost tea or pond water, something that's very rich in organic mineral content. Let me step inside here. But where I have the pigs, I can just take it out, feed it directly to them. They'll crunch it up, so they'll do the milling. They'll pass it through their digestive system, which will inoculate it, and then they'll spread it. And they'll spread it, you know, wherever they dump, wherever they manure, they will spread that. So I'm going to be putting down really, really nice inoculated compost. It's gross, but I will do this. I will collect up some of their manures, and I'll show them to you. They look like they've been drinking motor oil. Their manures are dark, dark, dark. Even black. Sometimes they look just black. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to see if the battery holds, and I will go out there with the loader. I'll turn this around and let you watch, and I'll dump it to them, and let's see what happens. I kind of know what's going to happen because I've done this before, and it is definitely stacking the deck. Now, I'm using salt this time, but let's say someplace in my travels I scrounged up a bunch of molasses. I would inoculate the biochar with molasses, and the pigs would think that that's a pretty good treat too. So a lot of what I've learned is to have a good negotiation contract with your animals. Like, they're going to be doing far more for me than I am for them, but they don't know that. I mean, I'm coming up with a loader here, and they're thinking, oh, we love you, Mark. You're bringing us something to eat. We love you. And all the while, I'm thinking, you guys are going to eat this stuff, mill it up for me, and then deposit on the field. I think I'm coming out on top on this. But don't tell the pigs. Okay, I'm going to turn her around now so you can watch. All my little buddies, their smiling faces waiting for me. I have not fed them yet today. And here we go. I'll back up once I don't know how this view is. This is salty biochar. You'd think. All right, I'm gonna put the tractor way back so we don't have to listen to it. Had a dead battery this morning, so if I turn it off, I might be in trouble. How's that salty biochar? There's a couple different ways you can pronounce biochar. In Massachusetts, where the area that I'm from in Boston, they say Biochar. Down in Arkansas, they call it Biochar. So don't be confused by the translation there. I happen to be from the Boston area, and sometimes if I'm talking fast, I call it Biochar. They're getting down on it, though. Okay, and I'll show you the field here. I've fully bedded it, and they're going to be here for at least another 6 weeks. Okay, and what I'll do, I'll get in here with a cultivator and I'll cultivate this up again so they start getting into the soil again. While I'm here, I'll show you this. This is Dave's field here. He's got this middle 100 feet, and take a look at the ground right here. I don't know if you can see that, but what I'm looking at is a solid carpet of weed seeds that have germinated. And if there was some way we could get a count out here of the weed seeds, there's millions of them that have germinated, and they're only about this big. So I'll go through that with a cultivator too, and we'll have a huge, huge kill-off of weed seed that will never come back again, all right, unless it blows in from someplace. And we really don't have that configuration around this field where a lot of weed seed's going to blow in. So if every one of these little weed plants, if we let it go to maturity, would get this high. This is mostly ragweed and lamb's quarter, and then they would put out 50,000 seeds on their own. So we could really fill this place back up with weed seed if we wanted to. But if we want to go the other way, you can always spray, but we don't do that because it poisons the soil. And it'll poison all the bacteria that's in the soil and all the life that's in the soil, the worms and stuff. Or you can till it, and it's light tillage is what we're doing, because I just use a cultivator. I put it down 4 inches and then draw across it, and it buries all these little weeds. I've been asked about that, and it's always like, well, aren't you worried that you're bringing more weed seeds to the top? No, I want to bring more weed seeds to the top because I think that people think that you're never going to get ahead of them. You'll never get ahead of them. Well, here I am, 29 years old. I can do this for the next, 60 years, right? So I'll get ahead of them. What was that, 81 years old? I don't remember. But that's just an interesting sidebar. I'm feeling good. Summer's here. Production's in full swing. Visit bakersgreenacres.com. Get some of that mangalitsa sent to your house. Eat that stuff, and I've got you. It's Mark from Baker's Green Acres. Anyone can farm.